There's a debate on Twitter, Cristiano Ronaldo versus Beyonce. Basically, this girl said that Beyonce had more global influence than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Prove us wrong.
Ooh.
She basically was like,
you're the football fan here.
Yeah. She was basically like, look, I look at soccer players. I don't know any of them. I live in America, and if you're trying to sell to me, you got to go with Beyonce. That's the only person I'm going to connect with. And then all these people from all over the world were like, bro, Cristiano Ronaldo is the most sold jersey of all time. Kids in the Middle East, Africa, everywhere.
What's his influence though? Did he change football? Did he change anything?
What do you mean change?
That's what influence is, more so, right?
Influence, you can also turn around.
A bunch of people want to play.
Everyone wants to be him. There you go. He's influenced all these people to want to be him.
But
I think Beyonce and J-Lo, remember in the 90s how much we liked,
This is an interesting discussion. We're not talking about who's more famous.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're talking about who's more influential.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I think the original claim is
Well,
that...
let's do this because it's in the thing and it's more fun.
Okay.
Who's more famous? You just look at the fucking IG followers.
I think the claim is popular, but influential might be more significant.
Yeah, popularity, it's without a doubt Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
There's not even a question.
I mean, I believe it. I
agree.
Yeah, but influence is really interesting because there are people who are incredibly famous, but you might not do anything because you don't want to be them. And influence has to have like an aspirational quality.
And even influence in terms of just the way things change. Like Ronaldo, there was always Messi. So how much can you change the sport? Whereas I really think in the 90s, it was like mainstream beauty was like super thin girls. I think Beyonce and J-Lo helped more than anybody pushing it toward like, no, we like more full-figured women. You don't need to be that skinny. You don't need to be anorexic and all this shit. Look like a woman.
Yep.
I think that's Beyonce.
Yeah.
How did Cristiano, and again, I don't know the effects on soccer, but like, is there something specific that he does in soccer that makes you want to play like that? Like when Allen Iverson, like, okay, so what is
He came
that?
in with like a flashiness, like he made an entire like soccer cleat, like his own, like the Mercurial Vapor. Everyone saw it and was like, I want that because Ronaldo wears those. Like it was the fastest one. He was the fastest player on the field. So everyone was like, yeah, I want to be like flashy, handsome,
but
and like,
shredded.
Hold on one second.
Healthy
shredded.
lifestyle.
Hold on. But that's not influence. Like what Steph Curry did to, like Steph Curry is way more influential than LeBron. It's not even a question. In terms of like the game of basketball.
Correct.
Steph has changed the way that every player plays the game of basketball. Allen Iverson, way more influential than LeBron in terms of basketball, changed the way that people played basketball.
LeBron more popular, LeBron better, but
Jordan,
not as influential.
Same thing. Like you could even argue there was a white basketball player named Jason Williams.
Yeah.
Whose impact on basketball.
Is that white chocolate?
White chocolate was way more than people that were way better than him, and the people who you can even say more skilled and all these other things, just because the way he played the game was so different. With Ronaldo, I don't know enough about soccer to say, but like I don't watch him and go, damn, he's playing soccer so different. When I see a guy like the Brazilians, like a Neymar who's got all this crazy footwork.
I would say though that Neymar was inspired by Ronaldo.
Okay,
like
so break it down.
I don't know necessarily either like how he impacted soccer before, but like for me at least growing up with Ronaldo, it was like, oh yeah, everyone wanted to be him, and he brought like a flashiness to the game, especially when he was younger. He was like 18. He would just like stand in the corner and just do like crazy moves. And in my opinion, like watching Ronaldo or Neymar come up, like that
he's a product of
he's like kind of a branch from his tree that like playing with super flash, like not. I mean, he's like a team player, but still likes the attention on himself. And like just that component alone, like on such a team sport, I think is probably unique. But I don't know if he's as influential as Steph Curry was to basketball.
Yeah, because again, I don't know anything about soccer, but when I watch him play, it doesn't seem like he's doing something so different than when like Maradona, I see videos of him, or like there's certain guys you just see and you're like, whoa, this is just a different type of.
Maybe what Dove was saying with the healthy lifestyle shit influenced beyond like
he's literally.
That viral video of they have the Gatorade or the Coke on the table when he's doing the press conference and he puts it down. He says, "Don't drink that, drink water." And it's like maybe that influenced
so it's
the
bigger
game.
than
Little
just the
things
game.
like the celebration, like the way he would like line up for like free kicks. Like everyone would just do that shit. I mean, even the celebration, everyone does the Sui shit. Like
They'll do it in the UFC.
yeah, like they do it everywhere, and like that's all from him.
It's hard to answer this though because influence how singers can't really copy one another. Like rappers maybe can, but no one can sing like Beyonce and perform like Beyonce. So it's like they would like to, but like
wasn't Beyonce the first one to do the unannounced album drop just all at once in the middle of the night?
That is very true.
Now that's the way you do it.
Yep. Oh, that's huge.
But you're influencing singers. Like it's a smaller number
music
than
around the
beauty,
world.
I
every
think,
single person in the world outside of the U.S.
No, but I think
You influence
Beyonce.
music around the world. Though.
yeah, beauty standards. I think again, just to touch on just those two, or like pretty?
I think Beyonce became like an archetype of a person that you want to aspire to be. Like she became like a North Star for women. Like what would Beyonce do in this?
True.
To the left, tell you, even if she didn't follow her own shit, you're like, what would Beyonce do in this situation? Oh, tell that guy to leave. Girls run the world. Girls are powerful.
Yeah.
And I think that influence to women was there.
Yeah.
To gay men was there. I mean, she was like super influential to dick lovers.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, yeah, the influence is so interesting. And that's why I think like, okay, to your point about music, like sometimes the micro influencer, like the person who influences the famous people is arguably the most influential because that blood enters all these other people who then give it to the masses.
You're more upstream.
The most furthest upstream, like the producer, like a new producer comes out and all of a sudden all the songs are done by them and then everybody's copying the sound, but it's all coming from Metro Boomin or somebody. I don't know, I'm just using somebody arbitrary in this situation. So yeah.
This might be more of an example that's like a gatekeeper than an influencer, but apparently Atlanta strip club DJs, basically they decide what gets played in Atlanta in the strip clubs and that decides what the hot hip hop is.
Interesting.
That's a thing I've heard is like they are the guys. If you get your shit that starts popping in the strip clubs in Atlanta, you're hot. That's it. Nationwide, you're hot. Career ready to go.
It's like in art. There's like 4 galleries, and if you're in one of those galleries, you're legitimized as an artist, and that's fucking influence.
Yeah.
When you take something with zero intrinsic value, give it a cosign, and now it's worth 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, million. That's influence.
So the gallery has the influence? Yeah. Okay.
Anna Wintour, Kanye.
I was talking to this dude and about some art stuff, and I was like, what makes something like, he called himself a treasure hunter, which is the most fire fucking term, because it wasn't just art, it was he was just a guy who could like hustle. And I was like, what gives something, well, 2 different dudes. The art guy that I was talking to was like, what makes art valuable? I don't even understand this shit, it's super fucking intimidating, like what? And he goes, you wanna look for 3 things. You wanna look for somebody who came in and is part of an artistic movement. So there's like postmodernism. There's like right now graffiti is acknowledged as like a form of art. So like who is the earliest graffiti person doing graffiti on subway cars in New York? If you had a piece from them, now that it's an established type of art, you want someone early in a form of art that is now recognized. Someone who's been accepted by a gallery, who's like been in one of like the top 4, and then also someone who has results from an auction. And like those are the 3 things that establish value. People are willing to pay for it, they're part of a movement of art, and they're in one of these like fancy galleries or museums. And I was like, okay, now I at least have like a basis of how you fucking vote on or decide what art is worth.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can look at a picture and be like, wow, that's absolutely beautiful. But I don't know what makes it 500 or 10,000.
Yeah, people say invest in art, and you're like, what is a good investment and what's not?
Yeah.
I'm just throwing money at art.
Yeah, but it kind of makes sense now. It's like, oh yeah, this was a time period where this type of art came out, and he was the originator. He started it. And then this other guy who was like this treasure hunter dude, and I was like, what makes something a treasure? He goes, rarity, intrinsic value, and then mechanics. Something built brilliantly, something that is incredibly rare, and then something has value outside of it, of just like the parts. Do you know what I mean? The Queen's watch is valuable because people care about the Queen, and that was hers. Blah, blah,
So like watches, the story is important with the watch.
and the mechanism, but also how many.
Yeah.
You know, and he was showing me this fucking $10 million car he used to drive around in like London. Now it's a $75 million car. And I'm like, why is this worth that? He goes, there's only 4 of them. There were 2, and then 2 more got converted, and now there's 4. But that's in the world, there's only 4. And people who have tons of money want to buy the things that nobody else can have.
Yes.
And they're gonna insert that value. He's also told me, he's like, I'm kind of out of the treasure hunter business. I'm like, why? He goes, you can't make any money anymore. I go, why not? He goes, everybody can Google the prices. Back in the day, I could go buy a watch off of somebody in fucking Houston for $200, right? Because they're just selling it during a downtime. Then go back to LA, sell it for 10,000. Now that person looks up the price.
Yeah, you think about that like the antique roadshow type shows don't really exist. Because I'm just gonna Google this.
That's it.
Yeah.
Pawn shops, like everybody knows how much their shit is worth by the time they go to the Pawn Stars show.
Well, that show specifically, yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like you could just go, okay, I have this watch. What the? You
I mean, that show's like scripted. They're like finding people that have.
Of course, and it's great TV. It's fun, but like they can't really rip off the people that bad. If there weren't cameras there, they're beating them motherfuckers in the head.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is fake. I can give you $50.
Yeah.
Flipping it for 20 G's.
Yeah. Let me bring in my friend. He's an appraiser, and the appraiser's like, "This is bullshit. Like, throw it away. What is wrong with you? Why would you waste my time?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You